You would therefore make the statement that a certain sound took place at, say, 5 seconds past the hour. I would say that it happened at about 2 or 3 seconds past the hour, while the people at the works would say that it took place just at hour, so that when we say that a certain thing happened at a certain time, we really mean that it happened at that time in relation to our own position at that moment. The relation of time to distance and the relation of immediate time to time as a whole are subjects in which people grow more and more interested. To interesting place have been written round the idea that everything that has happened in the past is still in existence. The point made by the place being a person who has a certain special sense highly developed can go back into the past and experience old and past events. But interesting as these ideas may be, there is another and much more useful point of view from which the consider time for all the general purpose of everyday life. We all understand time quite well. We know that cash day is made up of 24 hours, that there are never 23 hours to day, and never we know that the little hands working the passing of the minutes and hours move on and on at their even rate, at that although they work in our service, they work without any regard to our personal and special interest, that will work no more quickly when life is taking as towards some special pleasing even, and they will not lessen their rate when we are moving towards something less pleasing. We know that time influences us in the doing of every piece of work. For all work to have its highest value has to be done to time. The chief who calls the members of the board together for a certain time must be ready when the board meets with the facts, figure or questions which the wishes to put the members. He depends not only upon his own work in his connection, but upon the work of all directly working with him, from the most experienced men in his employ to the most recent of the office boys. The motor manufacturer must so organize the year work of all his men that he not only supplies today demand of the public for his product, but also has his new goods quite ready for the market at the expected time. The manufacturer, whatever his product may be, must supply present demand and at the same time organize future work. Goods made for shipment overseas must be ready for shipment by the date on which the ship is leaving the country. The kind of market in which we are interested makes little difference. Good must be put on the market when the market is ready to receive them. But the principal difficulty of all planning comes from the fact that we cannot see time. We have perhaps 5 months in which to do a piece of work. There seem to be no needs for a immediate start, and the papers in connection with it are put on one side when the papers again see the light of day, we find possibly that we need information from another person, but to the second man this piece of work is something just received, and he in his turn sits on it for a little while, only to find when he looks seriously all the works that it requires the attention of a third party, and a valuable days pass until we find that the work is either put through to time as a result of much work and running about on the part of everyone interested, or it is not put through with resulting loss of money and goodwill. Even when man has done his best, nature sometimes lets us down, and wealth condition hold up trains, plans and ships, and the perfect piece of planning works out less perfectly than we had hoped and expected. अपडेटेड डिक्टेशन के लिए मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें, लाइक करें और मज़ीद आगे शेयर करें।